The Enneagram has become a very popular personality trait tool in mainstream society. And yet 45 years ago, it belonged only to those who, underground, had discovered the teachings of Gurdjieff. Not just those teachings on inner work, on the ray of creation, the law of three, the law of seven, the metaphysics and the psychology of it, but those who had gone into the teachings passed down through Ouspensky to Rodney Collin, who wrote an extraordinary work called The Theory of Celestial Influence and connected the Enneagram to endocrine glands and planetary influence. This was entirely unknown to the world. And then by the late 1980s, slowly a new kind of Enneagram began to emerge, one that was unconnected, it seemed, with that original gift brought to the West by Gurdjieff, outside of the esoteric schools, outside of the oral tradition. They appeared in the Catholic world, strangely, still unknown to the general public. And if one is to trace how this came about, that an esoteric teaching known only to those in schools, in esoteric schools, outside of mainstream society, became this popular board game almost, unconnected to its origins. One need only know that this Rodney Collin, key student of Ouspensky, who was a key student of Gurdjieff, after Ouspensky's death ended up in South America, had a school, a group, published pamphlets on the Christian mysteries. He became Roman Catholic. And somehow in that dynamic, fluid activity in that part of the world, at that time, one Oscar Ichazo came across these ideas. There is no direct link, but where else would he have contacted anything on this Enneagram that was exclusive to Gurdjieff, except that it was taken to South America by Rodney Collin. And then a student of Ichazo's from Berkeley, Claudio Naranjo, a professor, goes down to see him. And then his student, Helen Palmer, writes a bestseller, and it explodes in a whole new form with a very different purpose. So what I hope to present to you in this material is a taste of what originated with Gurdjieff and how it connects in certain ways with the popularized version, keeping in mind that that version has lost the very purpose of these ancient teachings, which is the transcendence of the self. That is to say, the recognition of our mechanical functioning for the purpose of intentionally, through will and attention and knowledge, overcome it, not simply be it. I was contacted by Helen Palmer back in 1991. She was concerned that this teaching was getting out without its true purpose, which was precisely to find the real self beyond these mechanics. And so I present to you here this rarefied teaching. Only 2 books exist on what originated through Gurdjieff and Rodney Collin. one by Joel Friedlander, another by Susan Zanos. And with Susan's material, we find a connection with essence body types, which is the first teaching, and this now watered down, secularized, psychologized version that has taken off like wildfire, without any reference to its roots, its source, its original purpose. And my hope in presenting these rare teachings is that in recognizing and honoring the original version, one can find one's way to the real power in these teachings, which is not merely self-awareness, self-knowledge, but inner transformation, self-becoming, higher consciousness, spiritual awakening, and ultimate liberation from that with which we were born, the type that we are automatically and mechanically. Beyond our reactivity, beyond our stimulus response, lies true will, true freedom, true individuality, true self. George Ivanovich Gurdjieff introduced the Enneagram to the West in the early 20th century. He claimed that the Enneagram symbol had ancient origins, although he was vague about its precise source. According to Gurdjieff, he discovered the Enneagram during his travels in the Middle East and Central Asia, where he encountered various esoteric traditions and secret brotherhoods. He particularly mentioned Sufi orders and monasteries in regions such as Afghanistan, Persia, modern-day Iran, and other parts of Central Asia. Gurdjieff suggested that the Enneagram was part of an ancient, sacred knowledge passed down through the generations within these esoteric traditions. He did not provide detailed documentation or historical evidence to support these claims, leaving the exact origins of the Enneagram shrouded in mystery and open to speculation. Gurdjieff's original Enneagram of essence body types refers to a concept within his teachings that describes various personality types or essences within the framework of the Enneagram. This was part of a broader system of spiritual development and self-awareness. Gurdjieff's Enneagram is a 9-pointed diagram that represents universal laws and processes. It combines 3 fundamental principles: the law of 3, a triadic structure of creation, and the law of 7, a process of development or evolution. Unlike contemporary Enneagram personality systems, Gurdjieff's use of the Enneagram was less about categorizing people into types and more about understanding processes and transformations in the cosmos and human beings. It illustrates how phenomena evolve and change over time. Gurdjieff distinguished between essence, the core, innate part of an individual, and personality, the learned behaviors and external influences. His teachings emphasized the importance of returning to one's essence through self-observation and inner work. In Gurdjieff's system, the Enneagram could be applied to various processes, such as food digestion, musical octaves, or the stages of personal development. Each point and line in the Enneagram has specific significance in these processes. Gurdjieff's Enneagram is a tool for spiritual growth, aiming to help individuals become more conscious and aware. Through understanding the Enneagram, one could navigate the complexities of life and inner development. Gurdjieff's use of the Enneagram did not focus on describing specific personality types, as in the modern Enneagram of personality, popularized by later thinkers such as Oscar Ichazo and Claudio Naranjo. Instead, it was a multifaceted symbol for understanding the nature of reality and the path to self-realization. Rodney Collin, in his book The Theory of Celestial Influence, expands on the ideas introduced by his teacher, P.D. Uspensky, who was a disciple of Gurdjieff. Collin integrates Gurdjieff's concepts with his own interpretations and insights, particularly concerning the relationship between body types and the endocrine system. He proposed that the human body can be classified into different types based on the predominance of certain endocrine glands. He believed that these glands significantly influence both physical characteristics and psychological tendencies. He identified several primary body types associated with specific endocrine glands. Collin's theory also incorporates astrological and cosmic influences, suggesting that the position of celestial bodies at the time of birth can affect the development and predominance of these endocrine glands. He believed that understanding the interplay between celestial influences and endocrine function can provide deeper insights into human behavior and potential for growth. For Collin, recognizing one's body type and its associated endocrine influence is crucial for personal development. By understanding these underlying physiological and psychological tendencies, individuals can work towards achieving balance and harmony within themselves. This awareness also aids in the cultivation of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening, aligning with the broader goals of Gurdjieff's teachings. Lunars are strong-willed loners who readily resist, refuse, or reject. They see the faults and adversity in the world only too clearly and react by putting up a stubborn defense or shutting themselves away. They don't mind little human interaction and tend to shun parties and social gatherings. They like dimly lit rooms and adore peace and quiet. Accordingly, they tend to live and do their best work by night. Though reclusive in society and uneasy in groups, they are sympathetic and patient in one-to-one situations, and as friends are long-lasting in their loyalty. They write better than they speak and excel at breaking matters down into their constituent parts. This suits them to painstaking work requiring minute attention to detail and tenacious concentration. Lunars are subject to mood swings. Their demeanor tends to be awkward, incoherent, or agitated. They can become incomprehensible to others or even lunatic due to their bizarre imaginations eccentrically driving them in pursuit of wild ideas or dreams. Corresponding Enneagram types: Type 9, the peacemaker. The lunar essence aligns with Type 9's calming presence, desire for peace, and nurturing nature. Type 9s seek to avoid conflict and create harmonious environments. Type 4, the individualist. The introspective and sensitive nature of the lunar type can also resonate with Type 4's deep emotional experiences and search for meaning. Venusian type. Venusians are gentle, friendly, and sociable, curious about everything at a surface level. They like beautiful paintings, luxurious interiors, and lavish clothes and jewelry. They take a positive and tolerant view of people and events. In terms of movement, they tend to be static or sedentary, though their gait can have a lilting, dancing quality to it. Like the image of Botticelli's Venus rising from the waves, their manner conveys a languid and graceful ease. In gesture and word, they are caring and sympathetic, or passively seductive. They hanker for friendship and physical closeness, along with domestic peace and comfort. A certain indolence and muddled or languorous habits can overcome their ascetic sense and cause them to become untidy or shabby. Venusians are natural empaths. Thus, they tend to live through others and are followers rather than leaders. Corresponding Enneagram types. Type 2, the helper. The Venusian essence aligns with Type 2's nurturing, affectionate, and sociable nature. Type 2s seek to be loved and needed, often placing others' needs above their own. Type 4, the individualist. The artistic and emotionally expressive traits of the Venusian type can resonate with Type 4's search for identity and authenticity. The Mercurial type. Mercury people are dashing and childlike, built for rapid, changeable activity. They are full of spontaneous and clever ideas and perceptions. They are charming in conversation, with ready smiles and witty remarks. Their movement is mercurial and impatient, gesticulating a lot to get attention and doing many things at the same time, while the tongue captivates with lucid speech delivered in a vibrant voice. They handle facts and information adroitly, but have difficulty with unprovable theories or intuitions which they distrust even their own. Essentially concerned with their own advancement, Mercurials are competitive. They hate to see anyone get a better deal or more attention than themselves. They are ideally suited to salesmanship, journalism, and entertainment. They snap up opportunities eagerly and cunningly, but can be manipulative or devious. Corresponding Enneagram types. Type 7, the enthusiast. The Mercurial essence matches Type 7's love for new experiences, optimism, and versatility. Type 7s are adventurous and seek to avoid pain through constant stimulation. Type 3, the achiever. The adaptable and communicative qualities of the Mercurial type can also align with Type 3's chameleon-like ability to fit into various social situations to achieve success. Saturnine type. Saturns stand above others physically and metaphorically. With their dull, sad eyes and weary posture, they come across as serious, thoughtful, and gloomy. They are measured and methodical in thought and movement, always careful to live within their limits. Their concern for others and their penchant for formulating plans and strategy usually land them in high positions of leadership or influence. Here they will confidently and unilaterally direct operations, using exhaustive analysis and reflection. The more complex the matter, the more they will persevere in gathering and fitting all the necessary facts and details into a big picture, no matter how long it takes. Saturnine tastes are moderate, even ascetic. Saturns are emotionally reserved people, but honest and frank. They can be dominating and, with their rational and scientific outlook, inclined to put principles or bare logic before all else. They are most at home with other Saturns discussing history, philosophy, or the reorganization of society. Corresponding Enneagram types. Type 1, the reformer. The Saturnine essence aligns closely with Type 1's pursuit of perfection, order, and adherence to principles. Type 1s are conscientious and strive for improvement in themselves and the world around them. Type 5, the investigator. The introspective and disciplined nature of the Saturnine type can also correspond to Type 5's analytical and knowledge-seeking behavior. Martial type. Martials are brave warriors built for self-assertion and combat. Even their silence has an ominous quality to it, as if they are ticking over before the next outburst. Their eyes have a fixed and fiery stare. Their voice is bullishly projected. With fast-moving adrenaline, their style of action is sudden and powerful, using gestures and movements that are willful, punchy, and jerky. They relish causes to fight for or to campaign against, aiming for and achieving one goal after another. Socially, they are blunt and direct, not knowing how to be insincere with niceties or flattery. Marshals are energetic in work, thriving on challenge and adversity. They favor the instantly effective physical approach, which can be over-forceful. When led by another, ideally a wise Saturn, they are loyal, painstaking, and disciplined. As they are impetuous and quick-tempered, they fall easily into quarrels. Having released their adrenaline, they quickly forget, and their animosity turns to impulsive, selfless generosity. Corresponding Enneagram type, Type 8, the Challenger. The martial essence aligns well with Type 8's assertiveness, need for control, and protective nature. Type 8s are natural leaders and are driven by a desire to be strong and avoid vulnerability. Type 3, the Achiever. The energetic and ambitious qualities of the martial type can also resonate with Type 3's drive for success and recognition. The Jovial type. Jovials are large in body and presence. Their lifestyle tends to be opulent and cultured, sometimes extravagant. With their imposing, majestic bearing and sonorous voice, they easily command attention and attract friends and followers, treating all as their family. They abhor criticism of themselves or others and instead radiate goodwill and cheerfulness. Their wide range of interests, lyrical gift, and visionary perspective make them eloquent teachers and public speakers. With optimism and gusto, they make their own enthusiasms feel like everyone's. They network and host superbly and have a maternal way of bringing and holding people together. People are the air they breathe and the material they work with. Jovials make wonderful hosts but can fall prey to vanity and a short-term interest in any one activity. Corresponding Enneagram types. Type 7, the Enthusiast. The jovial essence resonates with Type 7's expansive nature and pursuit of pleasure and new experiences. Type 7s are often positive and future-oriented. Type 9, the Peacemaker. The generous and easygoing qualities of the jovial type can also correspond to Type 9's desire for harmony and avoidance of conflict. The Solar type. Solars are the beautiful people who urge themselves to liberate others with their very presence. Who am I, they ask, not to shine my light as a child of God, brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Indeed, solars thrive in the public eye and seem destined for fame and popularity. Their androgynous beauty and fervent ideals endow them with a serene radiance that is attractive and magnetic. Yet they hold themselves slightly apart from others, seeming to not quite fit in with the ordinary, rough world. Theirs is a world of dreams and aspirations, art and beauty, bohemian or courtly charm, and refined taste. Physically, they move nonchalantly or dancingly with flowing ease. Embodying spirituality, romance, and glamour in their being, they hypnotize audiences in the theater, music, or movies, and provide a muse for painters, photographers, and designers. Solars look the youngest of the types, but tend to die the youngest. Their childlike passions can be naive. Believing they are powerful beyond measure, they push themselves beyond their bodily needs and limits, or over-repeat the same mistakes or addictions. Corresponding Enneagram types. Type 3, the Achiever. The solar essence corresponds to Type 3's charisma, drive for success, and ability to inspire others. Type 3s are confident and focused on achieving their goals. Type 7, the enthusiast. The creative and energetic qualities of the solar type can also align with Type 7's enthusiasm in pursuit of joyful experiences. The shift from Gurdjieff's original Enneagram of essence body types to the modern Enneagram of personality types, as interpreted by Oscar Ichazo, involves a complex evolution of the system based on differing philosophical and psychological perspectives. Gurdjieff introduced the Enneagram as a symbol and a tool for understanding the dynamics of various processes, including human development and cosmology. Gurdjieff used the Enneagram to map out processes of transformation and the movement of energy in a variety of contexts, including personal growth. His focus was more on understanding the nature of reality, human essence, and the process of awakening, rather than categorizing human personality. Oscar Ichazo, a Bolivian philosopher and the founder of the Arica school, encountered Gurdjieff's work and expanded on it. He introduced the concept of the Enneagram as a map of 9 distinct personality types. Each type represents a different set of psychological motivations and habitual patterns. Ichazo's Enneagram is more psychological, focusing on the typology of human personalities and their developmental pathways. The shift from Gurdjieff's Enneagram of essence body types to Ichazo's Enneagram of personality types reflects a change in focus from a metaphysical understanding of universal processes to a psychological framework aimed at understanding and transforming human personality. This evolution made the Enneagram more accessible and applicable to modern psychology and spiritual practices. Gurdjieff's essence body types are characterized by influences from different planetary energies which impact an individual's physical and psychological traits. These essence types can be seen as foundational aspects that influence how the Enneagram personality types manifest in behavior and disposition. The physical characteristics associated with each Enneagram type are not rigid rules, but tendencies that can offer insights into the deeper psychological and spiritual aspects of a person. The body types serve as a reflection of how the essence of each type manifests in the physical world. Understanding these connections between body types and Enneagram personality types can aid in self-awareness and personal growth. Recognizing one's body type and its associated traits can help individuals understand their inherent strengths and challenges, facilitating a deeper connection with their true essence. By understanding these underlying physiological and psychological tendencies, individuals can work towards achieving balance and harmony within themselves. This awareness also aids in the cultivation of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening, aligning with the broader goals of Gurdjieff's teaching.